The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed the remarkable ascent of the Imperial Japanese Navy as a formidable force on the global stage. Japan's victories in the First Sino-Japanese War and the Russo-Japanese War stunned the world. These triumphs showcased the IJN's growing naval prowess and its ambition to challenge established naval powers. The IJN's emphasis on battleships, the behemoths of the sea, reflected the prevailing naval doctrine of the time. Battleships represented national prestige, naval power, and the ability to project force across the oceans. Japan's pursuit of naval dominance was driven by a combination of factors. The resource-poor island nation sought to secure access to raw materials and markets in mainland Asia. This ambition brought it into competition with other imperial powers, particularly Russia and the United States. The IJN's leadership recognized the importance of a strong navy to defend Japan's interests and secure its place in the emerging world order. The development of a powerful battleship fleet became central to this strategic vision. The IJN's early battleships were often based on foreign designs. Japan lacked the industrial base and experience to construct its own capital ships. Japanese naval engineers and designers closely studied foreign warships. They adapted and improved upon these designs. They aimed to create battleships tailored to Japan's specific naval requirements. This process of learning and adaptation laid the groundwork for Japan's eventual emergence as a leading innovator in battleship design. Japanese naval architects and engineers embarked on a quest for excellence. They sought to design and construct battleships that were not only powerful but also technologically advanced. They focused on several key areas. These included firepower, armor protection, speed, and operational range. Japanese battleships were often distinguished by their powerful armament. They frequently carried larger caliber guns than their counterparts in other navies. Japanese battleships incorporated innovative design features. These included the bulbous bow. This improved their hydrodynamic efficiency and increased their speed. The IJN's emphasis on rigorous training and the development of advanced fire control systems further enhanced the accuracy and effectiveness of their battleships' firepower. Japanese naval constructors paid meticulous attention to detail. They constantly sought to improve the quality of their workmanship. Japanese naval doctrine emphasized offensive operations and decisive fleet engagements. Battleships were seen as the backbone of the IJN's offensive power. They were intended to engage and destroy enemy fleets in a decisive battle. To achieve this goal, Japanese battleships were designed for speed and maneuverability. This enabled them to dictate the terms of engagement. Among the many impressive battleships produced by Japan, the Yamato and Musashi stand out as the pinnacle of the IJN's shipbuilding achievements. These colossal warships, laid down in the late 1930s, were shrouded in secrecy during their construction. The Yamato and Musashi were true engineering marvels. They were the largest and most heavily armed battleships ever built. They displaced over 70,000 tons fully loaded and boasted a main armament of 9 18.1-inch guns. These massive guns could hurl armor-piercing shells weighing over 3,000 pounds each at targets over 25 miles away. The armor protection of the Yamato and Musashi was equally impressive. Their hulls were encased in thick steel plates. These plates were designed to withstand even the most powerful naval artillery. Their massive size and firepower made them symbols of Japanese naval might and national pride. The Japanese public viewed these ships with a sense of awe and reverence. However, the construction of these super battleships came at a significant cost. The resources and industrial capacity devoted to building and maintaining these behemoths placed a strain on the Japanese economy. The Yamato and Musashi were shrouded in secrecy. This added to their mystique. Their existence was a closely guarded secret. Their true capabilities were known to only a select few within the IJN. Section 4. The Fury Unleashed. Battleships in Action. Japanese battleships participated in several key naval engagements during World War II. However, their impact on the course of the war was less decisive than the IJN had envisioned. The age of the battleship, as the undisputed king of the seas, was coming to an end. Naval aviation, particularly aircraft carriers and submarines, emerged as increasingly important factors in naval warfare. In the early stages of the Pacific War, Japanese battleships played a significant role in supporting amphibious landings and securing vital sea lanes. One notable engagement involving Japanese battleships was the Battle of the Java Sea in February 1942. During this battle, a combined fleet of Japanese, Dutch, British, American, and Australian warships clashed. The Japanese fleet, spearheaded by heavy cruisers, inflicted a decisive defeat on the Allied forces. The battle demonstrated the effectiveness of Japanese naval tactics and the firepower of their cruisers. The Battle of Leyte Gulf, fought in October 1944, witnessed the largest naval battle in history. It involved massive fleets from both sides clashing in a series of engagements over a vast area. During this battle, the Japanese battleship Yamato fired its main guns in anger for the first time. Despite their firepower, the Japanese battleships were unable to turn the tide of the battle. The Battle of Leyte Gulf marked a turning point in the Pacific War. The IJN suffered heavy losses from which it never fully recovered. Section 5. The Turning Tide, Battleship Losses and Strategic Shifts. As the Pacific War progressed, the strategic situation for Japan deteriorated. The IJN suffered a series of setbacks. These setbacks forced a reassessment of the role of battleships in their naval strategy. The increasing effectiveness of American carrier-based aircraft and the growing threat of submarines posed significant challenges to the survivability of battleships. The loss of several Japanese battleships to air attacks highlighted the vulnerability of these once mighty warships to this new form of aerial warfare. The IJN's early successes in the Pacific War had created a sense of overconfidence. This overconfidence contributed to strategic miscalculations. The emphasis on decisive battleship engagements, a cornerstone of Japanese naval doctrine, proved to be outdated in the face of evolving naval technology and tactics. The IJN struggled to adapt to the changing nature of naval warfare. Despite these challenges, Japanese battleships continued to play a role in the IJN's operations. They were increasingly relegated to supporting roles. They provided shore bombardment and anti-aircraft defense. The IJN's dwindling resources and the loss of experienced pilots and sailors further limited the effectiveness of its battleships. The once proud battleship fleet, once a symbol of Japanese naval power, was gradually whittled down by losses and strategic shifts.